to.
My name is Charles Roque. I'm the Chief of Police of Allenstown. I'm joined at the podium by Captain Steve Bilkovitz and Detective Harold Bonser of our Criminal Investigations Division. The purpose of this press conference is to provide an update regarding the noose investigation. I want to take a moment to thank the following agencies who assisted in this case: Lehigh County District Attorney's Office, the Pennsylvania State Police Crime Lab, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Allenstown Police Department conducted a thorough investigation, including interviews of persons, analysis of evidence, and consultation with the District Attorney's Office of Lehigh County. As a result of the subsequent investigation, LaTarsha Brown was charged with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, a misdemeanor of the second degree, and false reports to law enforcement, a misdemeanor of the third degree. As in every criminal case, the fact that a warrant has been issued or a complaint has been filed is merely an accusation. The defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. I'm now going to ask Captain Milkovich to provide a summation of this investigation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Captain Milkovich, Criminal Investigations Division. On January 10, 2025, at approximately 7:11 a.m., Allenstown City employee LaTarsha Brown arrived at her office on the third floor of City Hall. At approximately 7:38 a.m., Ms. Brown notified the Allenstown Police Department that she discovered what she believed to be a noose on her desk upon arriving at work. Officers assigned to the Community Outreach Unit, Crime Scene Identification Unit, and Criminal Investigations Unit responded, initiating a criminal investigation to identify the individual responsible for placing the noose on Ms. Brown's desk. During the investigation, video surveillance and building access control records were reviewed to identify city employees present on the third floor of City Hall between the time Ms. Brown left for work on the afternoon of January 9, 2025, and her arrival on the morning of January 10th. Those employees were interviewed. Each was asked if they would provide a buccal swab for DNA testing if needed. Every employee agreed, except for Ms. Brown. Initially cooperative, Ms. Brown later requested that the investigation be discontinued. The noose was submitted to the Pennsylvania State Police Crime Lab for DNA testing on January 14, 2025. On January 24, 2025, a search warrant was approved by the Lehigh County District Attorney's Office for Ms. Brown's DNA, and a DNA sample was obtained that same day. On January 27, 2025, Ms. Brown's buccal swab was submitted to the Bethlehem Regional Crime Lab of the Pennsylvania State Police for comparison with DNA profiles recovered from the noose. On March 10, 2025, the Forensic DNA Division of the Pennsylvania State Police issued a written report indicating that Ms. Brown's DNA matched the DNA profile obtained from the swabs of both the outer surface and inner knotted portion of the noose after it was taken apart. No other person's DNA profiles found on the evidentiary items involved in this investigation. As a result of this investigation earlier today, Detective Harold Bonser of the Allenstown Police Department filed charges against LaTarsha Brown at District Court 31-2-01 for the criminal offenses outlined earlier by Chief Roca. Thank you.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins of the Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Man, talk about embarrassing, man. I mean, Jesse Smollett 3.0 now. I mean, like, it's all over the place. I mean, seriously, if you want to get attention and want to...
Good afternoon.
How many times has this been said? But this has been said a lot. There is a very large demand for racism and a very small supply, at least when it comes to white-on-black racism. There's a very large demand for white racism, but a very small supply. And, yeah, I mean, this woman needs to be locked up. She needs to be, whatever punishment would have been done to the alleged person that did this should be done to her.
Yes. I mean, imagine, she will have no remorse for some, like, just say some old white janitor that would happen to be there cleaning up.
Imagine the store she went to buy that rope from, and there was some poor, I don't know, stalker boys, it's shelf stalker, like the guy who put the rope on the shelf for people to purchase and buy. Imagine if that poor kid or poor person who worked there had his DNA on that, and it's like, I mean, that's what's so great is like she literally had to tie the noose herself because
Yeah, it's not like
they found
come
her DNA.
prepackaged.
Yeah, they found her DNA inside the interior of the knots. You know what they're saying? But I mean, what's she gonna do? Be like the white man came up and put a gun to my head and made me tie my own noose. You know, I mean, like that's where we're at with this, guys. That's how crazy things are. Again, huge demand for white racism, small supply. Again, I say small supply because there aren't that many actual legitimate.
The only one that they have in recent years is that church shooting, that Dylan Ruth kid that was the church shooter. That's the only one that we have in recent years that's been white. I mean, even like the shooter at that gay nightclub was Islamic.
Yeah.
So, like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find racism, you have to go inside the black community itself with all these black identitarians, or you have to go into the Islamic community. There's tons of racism in the Islamic community.
Yeah, it's like the whole hate crime thing. Because of course we've got the Jussie Smollett one, and then there's been a bunch others.
Bubba Wallace,
Bubba Wallace is one.
It's like it was a handle for a pull down bar.
Because the actual handle for the thing broke, so somebody just tied a makeshift rope up there with a knot that looked like a noose that just pulled down the garage.
Yeah, but it would only fit a hand, not like an actual neck.
Exactly. It was so small. It's like, unless you're hanging a child or a baby. But either way, it's like we go back and look and the whole Asian hate crime, the uptick in Asian hate crime during COVID.
Yeah.
Said everyone talked about that like crazy, but then they started showing who was committing it, and then that didn't fit the narrative of racist white people because it was, unfortunately, it was the black community that was seen being racist.
I mean, there were rap songs written about why you should rob Asian people because they carry cash on them. They carry large amounts of cash on them. So, like, if you rob an Asian, you're going to get a lot of money because they carry lots of cash with them. Yeah. So,
and even the same thing with there was an uptick in, especially here recently with the whole Palestine protests, uptick in anti-Semitic hatred going up again and again. While there is some anti-Semitism in the white community, it's mainly in the Islamic community against the Jewish community. Again.
Yes, they're raised from birth to hate the Jews. I mean, they're raised from birth to hate Christians too. I mean, the Quran is pretty clear on where it stands on its stance of Christians and Jews. You know, they're both going to hell, so they do not like Christians and Jews. You know, and their religions they don't have to defend their religion. All they do is criticize other religions. They don't actually, if they actually did any introspection on their own religion, it would crumble. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's like one of my favorite sayings is, without lies, Islam dies. But again, going back to the whole hoax hate crime stuff, I mean, again, this is, how many times have I told you? There's a huge demand for racism and a very small supply, at least here in America.
Yeah. The way that the left talks about it, you would swear, and the Democrats, you'd swear that it happens every day.
There is a white person wait behind every corner for a black person to pop their head around. You know, it's like, oh, I gotcha. Mm-hmm. You know? That is not happening. It's so ridiculous that they have put. I mean, they have this hyper awareness to it, and there's so little of it happening. So I don't know. The remedy is quit talking about it. Quit making it a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is... America's done a pretty good job of rectifying its mistakes. But, again, there's no money in that. There's too much money to be made in hoax hate crimes. There's too much. I mean, thank God now people are getting caught and they're getting called out on their BS. But again, if this woman receives no punishment, if this woman isn't kicked out of office, isn't living in a box at the end of the road by herself, nothing's going to come of this, because... It's the same goes for anybody who creates a hoax, what do you call it, the fake sexual assault scandals and stuff that have been going around everywhere. And same goes for these racist crimes. Whatever you accuse somebody of, if you lie, you get the punishment that they should have gotten.
Yeah, because you showed no mercy for them. Like, you're trying to get them on something that they didn't do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so if the girls who accuse guys of the R word, SA, if they are found innocent, that girl should go to jail. for the exact same amount of time as if the crime actually happened.
Yeah.
Same goes for these hoax hate crimes. Like, they should either be fined or go to jail or prison time for however long they would have done it if this hate crime was actually found out to be true.
Well, it's like the other thing, too. It's like there's always been a higher standard for guys in college than girls. It's like if two people get together and they're drinking and they both go back and the girl doesn't, regrets it later, it's like the guy can get in trouble for it, whereas the girl doesn't. It's like, hey, what's going on here? It's like either girls are grown up enough to go to college and be on their own or they're not.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we always, when it comes to girls, we always go back to this they have no agency thing. Like, I can tell you, I think even you can speak from experience. There are girls who will be dating dudes or friends inside of your own fraternity, and then that guy pisses them off that night or because he didn't give her exactly what she wanted, then she'll start kissing dudes in her, like kissing fraternity brothers. Like, I mean, I've seen that happen. I saw it happen to you. I saw it happen to multiple people in multiple different houses where girls are so vindictive and so evil that they will actively try to pit brothers against each other. Yeah. Friends. It's like, I'm going to start making out with somebody who I know is your friend just to try to get you jealous. And it's like,
not because I like them, just because I want them to,
I want you to suffer.
Jealous,
I want you to suffer. And I don't care what happens if like there's a fallout between you and this guy. Like, they will ruin friendships. Like, again, we always assume like the woman is innocent. Like, I mean, guys, there's a reason they're called like Jezebel is a thing. Like, Jezebels are evil, was an evil queen, like she was a bad lady. Yeah. Who, I mean, she's no, she wasn't the one that got. Was she the one that got John the Baptist beheaded?
Might have been, yeah.
So I don't remember where, and that's my bad. I should know that lore a little better. But again, I mean, like that queen, who married Herod's son. It's like, he married his brother's wife. Yeah, and John the Baptist is like, no, that's
yes,
wrong.
That would be the king. Yeah. That's where that happened. You're right. That's she's the one that got John the Baptist head removed.
Yeah. So again, it's like John didn't do anything. All he did was say, hey, you don't need to be doing that. And then she was like, give me his head on a spike or on a plate. And that's what happened.
Yep. But I have the article right here, so we're not full of it. And two, if you can see the thumbnail, this is her right here. PA worker accused of staging hate crime hoax after allegedly planting a noose at her own desk. Pennsylvania city worker accused Monday of staging a fake hate crime and allegedly planting a noose on her own desk, according to police. Allenstown City Hall employee LaTarsha Brown was charged with a pair of criminal counts after DNA pulled from the noose only belonged to her, and authorities said, though one of the pals claims she's innocent. One of her pals claims she was innocent. Yeah, I wonder if there's any bias right there.
Yeah, hold on, too. Like, I mean, what happened? Like, I mean, what drives someone to do this? Again, what happened at work? Like, why today did she decide to do this? Was she getting ready to get fired? Like, what's going on?
That's the only thing I ever can think of is, like, it's the same thing with Jesse Smollett. He was literally getting ready to get let go from Empire, so he's like, quick, I got to do something to help my career and make them feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
And boom. The stage is this. And it's like, now if they let me go, it looks like, I'm losing constantly. So they're like, oh, do we really want this type of bad publicity? This kid just got hate crimed and now we got a fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I can think of, but I could be wrong.
Again, I mean, what mental illness do you have to just be like, you know what? I'm just going to, I mean, maybe she didn't think anybody would get hurt from this, but I mean, that's my fears. Imagine if some poor kid's DNA from the hardware store that she bought this from, some poor kid from Home Depot, it's like, was goofing around putting the rope down there. Yeah. It's like, oh, we found the DNA sample from a 16-year-old kid, Jeffrey something.
But again, here's the other problem that I have with this is like, you're absolutely right. It's like, think of how much time and effort is being diverted from real crimes to do some bogus crap like this.
Yeah.
Like, there are murderers and assaulters and, R-worders or SA people out there.
Islamic terrorists.
Yeah, that are running free, and we're diverting like a huge network of FBI agents, police officers to go deal with this.
Something she staged.
Yeah, and how seriously they take this, too. I mean, my God, they're bringing out the DNA swabbers and stuff like this. Like, what happened? Do you have anybody in this area that hates you?
But I mean, how telling is it from the beginning? She's like, no, I don't want you to take my DNA. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you do there? It's like, oh, you're victim blaming. You want my DNA because you want to victim blame. It's like, no, this is standard procedure, man. Yeah, man, it's like, why are you being so hostile? You're the one that reported this.
Yeah. It said Brown initially said she made the shocking discovery at her desk at January 10th, and she arrived for work, leading to an investigation.
It's on my desk. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have amnesia. I left it there.
Leading to an investigation and community protest. That's the big word right there, community protest. Allenstown Councilwoman C.C. Garlanch said that at the time she was irate and angry over what they had called a hate crime after the report on Monday morning. Yeah, look at this lady. Super proud of herself. During the investigation, every employee who could have been placed the noose on the desk was asked to submit a DNA. Captain Stephen Malkovich said, everyone agreed except for Miss Brown. As you can see, this is literally the exact press conference.
This is the transcript. I mean, we don't even need to go over this.
I know.
Well-tied noose, man. She must have been doing YouTube tutorials on that. That's a good-looking rope right there.
That is.
I don't even know how to do that. Like, that's impressive. Like, I need to learn how to tie a rope like that.
Good Lord. Why? You planning on doing a hate crime?
I guess so. I mean, shoot. I mean, that's a useful skill. Tying knots and tying ropes, that's a useful skill.
Tying knots is a useful skill.
I could never in a million years tie a rope.
The Boy Scouts are racist because they teach people how to tie knots.
I pretty much, I mean, it's like Boy Scouts, KKK. It's a straight path.
It's the pipeline. It's a pipeline straight to racism.
Oh my gosh, dude. This is so stupid. I cannot believe this. Again, no remorse. They have no issues. Like, I mean, and again, everybody is so eager to jump on board. Everybody is so ready to be on the side. Like, I mean, this is why mob's mentality is so dangerous. It's like, we should wait for the evidence to come out. Screw that. We're all going to jump on board. This poor woman had a noose put on her desk. And it's like, y'all work in the same office building. Don't you think you should, like, have, like, an idea of who would have, put that, like, let me tell you something, folks. I've never just gone into the Owasso Municipal Building just for the sake of it. It's like, oh, who works here that I could just put a noose on their desk? Like, who does this? Like, I mean, like this has to be someone you know. Like, it would be easy to track this person down. Mm-hmm. That's what's so stupid about this entire thing. Yeah. Like everybody in the office would have been like, oh yeah, you know who it would have been? It would have been Jim Bob from finance. That's how easy it would have been.
The other aspect of this is the left has this idea and concept that racists must just sit at home all day thinking about what evil things they can do. As if
Marcia Brown, my city council person.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's like, as if these people don't have to go to work or have families and do other things in their free time. Yeah. It's like they do not just sit there in their room scheming, how do we get them today?
What do we do? It's like the whole the man thing. Mm-hmm. It's like where are these white privilege meetings taking place? When do I get to be a part of them?
When do I get my cigar and my suit and I just get to go to these meetings? Like, yes, we must keep women oppressed and minorities down.
Yeah, I know. Like, I've never been there. Like, when do I get to go to this meeting? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's how ridiculous the thought process is behind this. Yes, is there a group of elites who are talking and stuff? But that's like Bill Gates and the Clintons and all them. And I don't think it's that as organized as you think it is.
The Bilderberg meeting people who the Democrats will defend to the death because they're making a new world order that's going to, be all free and wonderful.
It's so crazy, man. Like, again, I don't know what goes on in the heads of these people, but again, if your entire worldview is based on left-wing dogma, like racism's the biggest problem in the world, climate change, world's ending in 10 years now, or however many years AOC said it was going to end in, and Greta Thunberg and all these people, it's like, if your life is consuming that and believing it, I mean, I guess I can understand why you would do stuff like this, because you're like, well, it's around every corner. But if you live in reality, if you live in a world where, you know what, this stuff isn't happening very much, if at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, again, but when and the less it happens, the more outrage there is behind it. So it's like, what, 9 unarmed black guys were shot last year or whatever, so we're under questionable circumstances.
Yeah, only 9.
9.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, the less it happens, the more outrage there is. So it's like, when it's just one dude, it's going to be the end of the world. So, like, there were 9. Wait till it gets down to there was only one disputed shooting of an unarmed black guy. That will be like the breaking point. It'll be like, how can this still be happening? It's like, it happened one time in an entire year. Like, why are you freaking out about this? Because less is more.
Yeah.
You know, because it happens all the
It's
time.
more-
Your empathy runs out. You're like, I can't keep track. I don't have
Yeah.
enough. There's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, it's like back in our day when we were young, they stopped reporting about shootings that happened in North Tulsa. I
Because
mean, that's
people
still
were
kind of
sick of
thinking,
hearing about it.
because it happened every day. It was a nightly occurrence.
Yeah. I mean, there would be people, like, there'd be a guy bleeding out inside of a chicken joint, and people were just stepping over him because they didn't want to not get their food.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a guy bleeding out on the floor, and they're like, yeah, the people will be here to help you soon. You know, it's like people are like, that's not real. It's like, no, that stuff happens. You know, it's like the EMTs yell at people to get out of line so they can help this guy and get render aid, and they go, no, I'm in line for my food. It's like, guys, that happens. Like, it's crazy, and it's real, but people are just like, that's not real. No, it is.
Yep. But that kind of moves us into our next area that we want to go into for today, which is the abysmal. Like, we haven't seen it, so we can't really do a review of it. But I've pulled up the movie reviews and the box office opening of it. But yeah, Snow White is apparently tanking hardcore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is what happens whenever you have an insufferable little starlet who, instead of being thankful for the role, is insufferable and goes out and says the movie's outdated. Like, I mean, like, Snow White's a timeless classic, and there's a reason these archetypes exist. You know, it's like modern films are sucking because they're trying to break out of these stereotypical roles and archetypes, and it's like, you wonder why those archetypes exist. Like the pure and fair maiden. Like, women want to be seen as the beautiful princess and want to be saved by their Prince Charming. Like, that archetype has existed for thousands of years now, and there's a reason it has. It's because deep down, I mean, every girl wants to feel like she's the prettiest girl in the world. Every girl wants to feel like everyone wants her and desires her. And, like, that's what you do. You tell these stories with these archetypes. You have the jealous mother archetype, or, you know, jealous stepmother or whatever.
Yep.
And then you have the fair maiden who is wrongfully thrown out and attempted to be, murdered, you know. And then you have the, she's so fair and so pure that she changes the hearts of the people around her, even the Seven Dwarfs. But again, it's like, they don't care about what it is. They just go, we have to change it. And, like, now she's a leader, and she's a powerful warrior. You know, she can take down. It's like they're all Black Widow now. They can all take down, you know, the biggest, toughest demi-human that's ever existed, you know.
Yeah, she'd be taking down minotaurs or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, there's no, I don't know, man. It's just absolutely insane that these people, like, they will willingly and happily crap on the source material that they are so eagerly stealing from.
The source material, that's what made it popular in the first place. Is like, you're going to completely change what made the movie good to fit a narrative that you're trying to push, which that's the big takeaway from this is don't be political. This girl was super political. She was made everything about how this is not a, you know, stereotypical, you know, here, you know, guy saves the girl movie, and then she got super politically activated too, like which is hilarious because her co-star is Israeli and was served as Israeli
been
Defense
making
Force.
multiple controversial Free Palestine posts and stuff. And Gal Gadot, who is the evil queen in the movie, she is she's Israeli, and she served 2 years in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force.
Now, granted, she was just like a fitness instructor.
She wasn't like a frontline soldier for sure. But, you know, again, there's pride. Like, it doesn't matter what capacity you serve the country. I mean, like, there are guys, like, I mean, Clint Eastwood was a lifeguard. Clint Eastwood was a lifeguard during his tenure in the military. But you don't think he doesn't look back on it fondly? Like, we all went to basic training. We all had to do all that regular standard Army bull crap. So,
you saw that?
Yeah, I did.
She's asking for your login to that. That's hilarious right now. You don't have to do it right now. I'm just saying. She asked for your login for that. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Talking about Disney. About Disney. I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. But yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely insane. Again, she even had the goal to say, like, her co-star Andrew, who plays the, I guess, Prince Charming, she goes, his scenes all might get cut. You know, who knows? It's like, okay, so we're really changing what the story's about then.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's funny because I just watched a thing about, you remember Thin Red Line, the movie?
Yeah.
Do you know who was written in the original script to be the main character? It's the little skinny guy from The Pianist.
Oh,
Adrian Brody was
yeah.
was the main character in that movie, and the guy, because Andrew, whatever his name is, Malick or whatever, his name is
Terrence
such
Malick,
a auteur director that he writes the script that he starts the movie with. He writes the script during the movie, and then he writes the finished script in the editing room.
Oh my!
And he goes, that guy got completely cut into the movie as a background character.
Wow.
That's what he said. He goes, I was going around like, doing the the press work for it because I was the main character, and like get into the screen and it's like, wow, I'm in it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, again, this is the movie. Snow White is the movie that made Disney what it was. It was the first feature-length film,
feature-length
cartoon film ever made. And I mean, again, color, and it was put on screen, and people absolutely adored it.
So the thing that put Disney on the map, Oscar-wise, because I mean, it won Oscars.
The film, isn't it funny? The film that put them on the map is going to be the one that removes them from relevancy.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's some irony there.
There is. Again, they have no creative ability. They're just literally repackaging the same stories and then changing them and tweaking them just a little bit to be like, see, it's different.
Yeah, but as you can see here that I have pulled up, 1.6 from IDBM. Now, I actually took it down, but Rotten Tomatoes has it at 40, but Rotten Tomatoes hasn't been relevant since they took away the audience score ability. Like, the audience score doesn't mean crap anymore because they have it to where, only certified critics are allowed to, score them.
And what does that mean? It means critics who have the in with all these press releases and early screening stuff, so they don't want to bash the movies, so they can keep their their backstage passes and stuff. They don't want to lose that access.
Which is the weird thing, because I remember from what I had pulled up about it before, the critic score was lower than the audience score for once, which that never happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's very rare that universally these films come together and people and the audience and the critics actually agree, because typically, if it's like an artsy-fartsy film, the critics will be like, lowbrow morons just won't get this, and you're just like, sure. It's not just the fact that the film just sucks and you're just trying to suckle to the power teat to maintain your access. Is where people like you and I, regular Joes, are just going to watch and be like, dude, this sucks. Like, this movie is awful.
Yep.
We'll give our honest, unfiltered opinion. And, critics won't because they don't want to lose access.
Yeah, because remember, that's that rule that Disney has. You can come and view it early and leave a review if it's going to be a good review. If it's going to be a negative review, you have to wait
until the
3
embargo.
days?
Yeah, until we stop the embargo process on your bad review.
Yeah, exactly, which is like they said usually 3 days after release you're allowed to leave your review.
So that's what's nuts, man. Like, I mean, people just, if you want to understand the way the world works, again, it's the same with video games. It's the same with books and stuff too. Like, it's not like the stuff that you're being fed is not artificially at the top. It's not naturally at the top. It's artificially put there.
Yeah. But here's what it says here on this from Screen Rant. It said the Snow White budget was a massive $270 million, if not higher, on the higher end budget reports.
The rule of thumb is double it. Whatever they say it is, double it, and then double it again for the marketing. So if they said $250,000, do another additional $250,000 for the marketing, and then double both of those numbers, and that's what it actually is.
Yeah. And then it says here, they were projecting at least $100 million mark at the end of opening weekend, but the worldwide total weekend was only $87.3 million, and that's worldwide. Like, only in the United States, let me see. United States or domestic was only $44.3 million.
Yep.
So, which literally tells you that nobody went to see this movie besides liberal parents who don't pay attention to politics.
Yes,
people still kind of have a hope for Disney.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw. Do you have the video where she's sitting in the theater alone?
Oh no, I don't. But
by herself.
I can try to find it.
Yeah,
quick.
literally, there's a video of her watching the film by herself, and there's only one other person in the theater with her. It's the person whoever's filming her on their phone, and she's just laughing it up like crazy. She's like, "Look, that's me. I'm famous." It's absolutely crazy. It's like, maybe she's just under the impression that there is no good press or bad press. There's just press, and her doing that's going to make everything better. But there was a great meme put up by the Not the Babylon Bee. And it was I don't know if you guys know, or those of you who are aware, there's a picture of Goku and Vegeta, who are like really famous anime characters from Dragon Ball Z. Rachel Zegler. And basically, they go, we need to go fight somewhere empty, because like they're super powerful. They're like Japan's Superman, effectively. But they go, we need to fight somewhere, but we have to go somewhere empty. So they go and they start fighting each other at the premiere of the Snow White, because there's nobody in the theater. It's a really good meme.
This has to be it right
here.
Yep,
that's it. Yeah, pull that video up. Is there anybody in that theater with her?
No, that's what some people have speculated, that this might be like her private screening for her, but still, that's weird.
Bad PR. Yeah. Like, you don't want to do any private screenings. You want to go to, like, private screenings happen in private, and they're not posted to the public for a reason. Like, if this is on social media and you're looking in a giant theater, you want people, like, you want her sitting in a crowd of people that like are worshiping her.
Yeah,
that's what you want. You want people being like, I'm so excited you brought this to the big screen.
And it's so weird because, like, we even learned from our buddy that works in Hollywood. He works for a Hollywood production company.
All the red carpet stuff is fake.
Everything.
It's all fake.
All those people. He was the guy in the gorilla suit during the King Kong.
Yes, if you remember when the original King Kong came out with the guy that played Loki. What's his name? The actor Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston. Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston. He was the guy that allegedly broke in. So my buddy was the guy in the ape suit that like crashed the red carpet. But I mean, he didn't crash it. It was all set up. Yeah. They made it for him to be breaking.
Every single person in the crowd that's going crazy is an intern that works there.
Yeah.
Now, granted, are they probably excited to see the celebrities, considering that all they do is like bitch work all day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like the most exciting part of their day. But still, like, you mean to tell me that these people are being paid to be there, or at least like getting some sort of like school credit to be there?
And it's scripted. He goes, you're going to run up to Tom Holland. He's going to take a picture with you, and you're going to say something to each other, and then you'll walk away, and that's how it goes. You'll be escorted out. Like, it's all fake. None of it's real. Like, it's all staged stuff, because everything's been staged for a very long time. Like, Hollywood got sick of people actually showing up and crashing red carpets, so they started staging crashing events at red carpets.
A literal grassroots campaign is like unfortunately, what's that movie called? The Sound of Freedom is a grassroots campaign, because there was no budgeting around, the opening of it. It was like, hey, this is word of mouth, and the actors themselves, who probably aren't getting paid to help promote this.
Yeah. Because the movie's been filmed for the last 3.5 years now, and the marketing for it's been gone.
And also remember this, like, it's like all the best movies like don't usually have that type of like press campaign. Like the original Star Wars, they had so little faith in the original Star Wars. They didn't take the budgeting or the marketing rights for it. Like George was like, I'll keep the marketing rights.
Yeah, the franchising rights, merchandise.
Merchandise, that's right. And then same thing with Jaws. Like I said, the studio had such little like faith in Jaws that they opened it in the summer. And remember, the summers there was no such thing as a summer blockbuster until Jaws.
Yeah.
Like, nobody opened in the movie because there's like,
nobody goes
to
the movies in the summer. Yeah,
exactly.
that was the old adage back in the 70s. Well, everybody's at the beach and on vacation in the summer. Mm-hmm. Nobody goes to the movies. And then the summer blockbuster became a thing because of that. So it's the same goes for Star Wars. You're right. So this is just bad. Like, this whole thing for Disney has been on the downhill for a long time. Like, this is like, we are watching the death march of all of our cultural institutions, the media, film industry, the news. It's all on game industry too, the video game industry. I mean, there's not been a game that I've been excited for in a long time. I think Friday the 13th was the last game I was like absolutely pumped about.
Yeah, it's like, here's their live action remake.
Because I was not excited for the other Halo. I wasn't excited for Halo Infinite because we'd already played Halo 5, and it was the first one that got rid of couch gaming.
Yeah, couch co-op. Oh yeah, that was so lame. But check this out right here. I've got the live action opening domestic weekend. So their number one is Lion King with 191 million. Beauty and the Beast 174. Alice in Wonderland 116. Jungle Book 103, Little Mermaid 95, Aladdin 90, Maleficent, 69, Cinderella, 67, Snow White and the Huntsman, which, man, golly, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
56, Dumbo, 46, Snow White is the new one, I'm assuming, 43, and then Mufasa is the lowest at 37, or 35.
Yeah. And, and it seems the farther they get from the source material, the worse these movies do. Like Maleficent, for instance, like 69 million. Like, I mean, I know that's in the middle of the pack, but, like, you had, like, a megastar with Angelina Jolie playing Maleficent. And, again, they strayed so far away from the source
Maleficent
material.
was the good guy all along.
Maleficent, like, Sleeping Beauty, like, Maleficent was the closest representation and closest embodiment of the devil we've ever seen on screen. And now, no, she's the good guy. So it just, again, the further they stray from the source material, the worse the movies do, because they're trying to what do you call it? What did Ryan Johnson call it? We're trying to subvert expectations.
Yeah.
It's like
we're subverting expectations.
Yeah, and every villain we have to deconstruct the villain. Like, Wyatt is a villain. It's like, I don't know, maybe the villain's just like the devil. The devil revels in evil. It's like, and there's nothing wrong with writing a character that embodies evil and embellishes in it.
Yep. And then the only thing I have left for this is this meme that we had here, and we showed this one already, but it's mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? It pulls up Rachel Zegler. She, he is. And then she goes, I'm unsubscribing to you.
Golly, but how accurate is that to modern day right now? I mean, that's absolutely that's culturally relevant.
Well, considering we have to consider that every trans person is beautiful and wonderful, and you have to want to date them, otherwise it's a hate crime now.
Yeah, it's like your sexual preferences aren't your own. Like you have to identify and love everything that we tell you to love. So, yeah, I mean. But I love the thumbnail and the title you made today. Snow White and the Hoax Hate Crime.
Yeah, she probably thinks that all these people not coming to her movie is like equivalent to a hate crime.
Yeah, probably. I mean, she's such a little narcissist, But I mean, this is absolutely insane. I mean, again, we are here watching the death of all the cultural institutions. It's like, I mean, the '90s was the heyday. The '80s and '90s were the heyday for Disney animation, which is crazy because it wasn't even the golden age. It was just the pinnacle because you had all the greats come out, Lion King and the Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. They all came out about that time, and now they have no creative. They don't have the people working at Disney don't have a thought behind their little heads. It's like, what if we just remake? It's like, perfect. What do we want to crap on? We'll do Snow White, but we'll give it a feminist and women empowerment take. Yes, perfect. That's innovative.
That's
clearly
what we need. What's the Kathleen Kennedy? Put a chick in it and make it gay.
Put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. It's like, God, it's so perfect.
Or in this particular case, make her like just a political, person that just makes everything about politics. Every little thing that she has to get into has to be political.
Yeah. Which
is annoying as all get out. We don't want to hear about your celebrity political point of view. Like, you are a person who pretends to be somebody else 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Let's not hear about what you think about what's going on in, Israel or in China or whatever. We don't care.
Yeah. Just entertain us. Like, again, it's like whenever people say, LeBron, stop talking, just play basketball. Same goes for Rachel Zegler. Stop talking, just make the movie.
I don't watch LeBron James on the court for his political takes. I watch it because he can dunk. He can make great dunks and get a bunch of points in a game. I don't watch him go, wonder what his thoughts are on geopolitics.
Yeah. Again, I know that kind of sounds crazy, but the least informed about opinion, anybody can have an opinion, but again, you also run the risk. It's like what I want to hear celebrities say is I want to hear them talk about Jesus. Be like, I'm so lucky and blessed that I'm here in this position. But, now I swear all these people are just rated. I swear we are a second away from them thanking Satan. You know what I mean? That's how close we are to the end, because they're just like, well, I'd like to thank Satan. Without him, with him, all things are possible. It's like, holy cow. Like, we're right there. I promise you, folks. Mm-hmm. That's why, I'm always shocked at the level of hate people like Chris Pratt get. Like, Chris Pratt, he goes, I was listening to Chris Pratt say, it's like the only reason he's as devout as he is, he goes, I prayed to God to save my son. Mm-hmm. And he did. And I was like, so that's why I unapologetically go around, talking about Jesus everywhere I go now. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
That's awesome. So again, I don't know. I guess go watch Snow White if you want. It's not looking like it's going to be good. But I mean, that's you and I always say this. You know, you have to judge a film for yourself. You can't listen to other people. I guess we've gone and seen some good films that people have said were bad, and bad films people said were good. And you know, so you gotta judge for yourself. You know,
judge for yourself, and if it's an entertaining movie to you, you know, if it. My 2 cents is if it keeps your entertainment the whole time you're in the theater, because we've been in movies where you're just like, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. This is so bad, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
you know, like that's a bad movie. That's a really bad movie. Like we walked out of like 2 movies. Like
I think it was The Spirit and The Dead Don't Die.
And I'm just like, oh, these are so bad.
Yeah,
those are the only 2 that we've ever like fully like I'm out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, use your money wisely, folks. I don't know. You know, you might just wait for this one to drop on Disney Plus if you got that subscription. But yeah, or I mean, this might be the type of movie. Yeah, bootleg it. Get that Napstrap, download it illegally.
It's not illegal to watch it illegally.
It's not illegal to stream it. It's illegal to download it.
It's illegal to sell it as your own.
Interesting. But yeah, that's the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
If I saw this movie on a plane, I would still walk out. This trailer makes me want to sit on the TV and look at my couch. I paid nothing to watch this trailer, but I already want my money back. Coming to a theater near you, me, is that a threat? They should have made Rachel CGI instead. Ron Brown and the 7 Discord mods. The CGI looks much better when I turn my monitor off. Disney invites you and I must politely decline. I'm rooting for the poison apple. Why is Lord Farquaad playing Snow White? This movie should come with a disclaimer. No dwarfs were harmed, but your childhood might be. I haven't seen something self-implode this hard since that Titan submarine. Mirror, mirror on the wall, as a German I claim cultural appropriation. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Snow White in the 7 CGI abomination, making the dwarfs look like a PS1 hack rig was a bold choice. Rachel Sadler looks like a medieval squire boy. Marvel's lost $237 million. Snow White, hold my beer. Disney used to make people famous, now it ends acting careers. Mirror, mirror on the wall, why the seats are empty in cinema